Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host Fondue.
This is Cheesy.
In this week's episode, we're talking all about fake cheese.
Whoa.
And we're not talking vegan.
What?
We're going to talk about fake paneer, fake Swiss,
Whoa.
and how microchips are being used to protect Parmesan.
Chips?
We're going to be talking about formaldehyde,
Ew.
drywall,
What?
and even fake rice.
Holy cow.
And of course, no episode would be complete without our very cheesy joke. Stay tuned
I
for
love a
episode
joke.
183, Faking It, on Just Cheesy, the podcast. We got the idea for this episode because there was an article about paneer cheese.
Yep.
This cheese is made in India.
Yeah.
It's made from curdling milk with an acid like vinegar, lime juice, or citric acid.
Yep.
It's usually strained in cheesecloth to drain the liquid out, and then it's pressed to give a firm texture.
Ooh.
But according to MSN.com, the Indian government is going to issue guidelines that would require restaurants to actually tell if they use cheese or not on their menus.
Wow.
Because apparently they're making a version of it with just oil and starch.
What?
And they say while it mimics the real paneer in appearance and texture, it lacks essential nutrients.
Yeah.
And it actually may contain harmful additives.
Oh no.
And of course, because it's fake, it's cheaper, and that's why a lot of hotels and restaurants don't reveal it to customers.
Whoa.
There were some inspections across multiple cities in India, and they said it's actually revealed some wider issues.
Oh,
that
no.
some of these types of paneer have been supplied to restaurants, and they said 83% of the paneer samples were found to fail quality tests, and
Ew.
40% were labeled unsafe for human consumption. And because
Wow.
of these health concerns, the government is going to intervene.
Good.
This isn't the only time in history where there have been some interesting ingredients in our food. According to WTOP.com, back in the 1800s, some things were blended with some, I'm going to say, interesting stuff.
Okay.
They say that sometimes coffee was mixed with sawdust and beets,
What?
charred black to resemble coffee.
Oh no.
Butter was sometimes blended with borax to
What?
extend the shelf life.
Oh my.
Milk? Well, that was sometimes cut down with water.
Okay.
It was occasionally topped with pureed calf brains, or
Ew.
it was also preserved with formaldehyde.
What?
And cheese? Well,
Oh, no.
if it wasn't the right color and it couldn't pass a quality test,
Oh, no.
companies would sometimes color it with red lead.
Lead?
And according to edible-history.com, there were so many others.
Oh, no.
Old oranges were boiled to freshen them up.
Ooh.
Coconuts were drilled,
Huh?
filled with water, and resealed with wax.
What?
But you're saying to yourself, well, that was the 1800s,
Yeah.
so it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
According to the BBC.com, there is some fake rice.
What?
Back in 2016, Nigeria confiscated 2.5 tons of plastic rice.
What?
They said whoever made the fake rice did an exceptionally good job.
Oh,
They said
no.
on first impression it could fool someone.
Oh.
They ran the grains through their fingers and felt nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, no.
They said it had a slight chemical odor.
Ew.
And when customs cooked the rice, they
Cooked
said
it?
it was too sticky.
Oh.
And it was abundantly clear that this was no ordinary batch.
Oh, no.
And fortunately, this stuff was not sold to customers.
Good.
And I don't know if this next one is necessarily bad.
Oh.
But according to gypsum.org,
Drywall?
gypsum, which is calcium sulfate, is considered a food additive.
What now?
It's recognized as acceptable for human consumption by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Okay.
For a dietary source of calcium, it's used to condition water in brewing beer,
Okay.
controlling the tartness and clarity of wine,
Sure.
and an ingredient in canned vegetables, flour, white bread, ice cream,
Oh.
blue cheese, and other foods.
Oh no.
Gypsum is not a sponsor.
Nope.
But if it was, the ad would go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah,
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
they do.
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay!
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY,
Cheesy.
that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay, Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. Now, sometimes there are plastic fake cheeses that are used for displays.
Oh, yeah.
And you can go on displayfakefoods.com, and there's tons in here.
Oh, wow.
They've got fake cheddar.
Ooh.
They've got fake string cheese. They've got fake
Ooh.
blue cheese. You name it, it's on here.
Whoa.
And apparently they say it's not edible,
Yeah.
and it's not a toy.
Right.
It's not recommended for kids under 12. It's
Okay.
meant to be part of a nutritional education series that shows an appropriate portion size in teaching nutritional instruction.
Whoa.
Did you know that the Swiss have been battling fake cheese for quite some time?
They have?
According to escoffieronline.com,
Oh, no.
there are forgeries that go to the supermarkets all the time.
Whoa.
The Swiss are known for their cheese,
Yeah.
and their exports are basically $500 million every year.
Holy cow.
And while a lot of the forgeries are actually cheese, they're made at a lower cost.
Yeah.
But the counterfeiters a lot of times ignore regulations
Oh, no.
that ensure the products are of high quality.
Ooh.
So the Swiss are fighting back.
Yeah.
They're actually using something called DNA fingerprinting to safeguard their national treasure.
Whoa.
They are relying on a database of over 10,000 milk bacteria
Whoa.
to keep track of their real Swiss cheeses.
Wow.
They say that the DNA marker makes it nearly impossible for counterfeiters to recreate the cheese.
They do?
And this is actually encouraging many to stop trying to pass off their own inauthentic cheeses.
Whoa.
Cheese.com tells us how to spot fake cheese.
Okay.
Camembert is a French cheese and it has a lot of copycats.
Ooh la la.
The real deal will have some brown spots.
Oh.
A bright white rind indicates industrial variety. The
Okay.
thick, creamy center of the cheese will become more squeezable the longer it stays on the cheese platter.
Ooh.
But to know for sure, you need to look for the PDO seal on the package.
Okay.
PDO means Protected Designation of Origin. This designation should be a guarantee of quality
Yeah.
and authenticity for products produced in a specific geographical area, and they follow strict production rules and methods.
Wow.
According to ItaliaRegina.it, the most counterfeited cheeses are Parmigiano Reggiano and Grana Padano.
Whoa.
They say the rind, which must be clean and must have the serial number of the producer
Yeah.
and the initials of the province where the cheese was made.
Okay.
They say for grated Parmesan,
Okay.
the DOP mark of Consorzio de Tutela must be present. And we've talked about this before, but according to interestingengineering.com,
Yeah.
Parmesan is trying to combat the counterfeit market with microchips.
What?
Since 1996, this cheese has been protected.
Yeah.
It has to be crafted in a specific northern Italian region.
Yeah.
The wheels must undergo maturation for at least a year in a mountain climate.
Wow.
The cheesemakers labeled all the cheese wheels with a case and plate
Okay.
containing a unique alphanumeric code, almost like a serial number.
Whoa.
And this code formed a distinct dot pattern encircling the wheel of cheese.
Wow.
It included the production month and year.
Okay.
This was not enough to stop the counterfeiters.
Oh, no.
Chips the size of a grain of sand
Oh.
have been placed on more than 100,000 Parmigiano wheels of cheese for long-term testing.
Wow.
This is to see if they will withstand the cheese's aging requirements of over a year.
Whoa.
According to ominthenews.com, these P chips, as they're called, work in a wide range of temperatures, both hot and cold.
Wow.
We already said they're small as a grain of sand.
Yeah.
They said they're easily and inconspicuously inserted by a robot into the case and label that is put on the top of a cheese wheel.
Wow.
Of course, they say safety and ethics are a concern
Yeah.
because of the tracking mechanisms.
Yeah.
That someone might possibly eat the case and label and thereby ingest the chip.
Oh, no.
They're not meant to be eaten,
Ew.
but testing has demonstrated the safety of the chips for human consumption.
Yeah.
And of course, they say tracking someone who has eaten a chip can be put to rest
Huh.
because the chips cannot be read remotely
Sure.
and they can't be read once they have been eaten.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure the only thing the chip would say to anybody is that I eat a lot of cheese.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, why did real cheese break up with fake cheese?
I don't know.
It couldn't camembert the lies anymore.
Oh.
Get it? Camembert?
I got it.
Like bear the lies?
It was dumb.
You may not like that one, but I thought it was a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to episode 183, Faking It.
Thank you.
As always, we'd love it if you would like,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Yeah.
and make sure to download our episodes every week.
And stay cheesy, everybody.